Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tamiya 1/35th scale M3 Lee tank that we've been working on weathering here. Last thing we did on this, we painted the metal for the tools. And again, it looks really shiny right now, but we're going to attempt to dull that down quite a bit today, as well as paint the wooden handles on the axe and the shovel. And we also last time did some sponge chipping where you see the lighter gray there, and we're gonna attempt to do some rust chipping effect with a sponge chipping, I should say, a rust color, where we did these the metal chipping last time to give it a little more less of that metally effect going, and show that it's been rusted over a little bit. So we need to get our... Every time I stand up and sit down, that's going to rattle. I better move that. That's some well, it's one of the sprues for the Willys Jeep. I had it on a box and just sitting there rattling back and forth. But we have the wood color here. And what I plan to do is paint it with this. And then what we'll do is, after that's dry, I think it's going to be too bright. So we'll have to, we'll do a little graining and dulling it down as well. I probably want my smallest brush for this because these are very, very thin pieces here. And I'll have to take my glasses off so I can see something. Now it looks a little darker now that it's on the paper. But I will try to keep this in the camera view. I zoomed in a little bit more, but I still don't have a monitor to show that. Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, that's going to be darker than I thought it was going to be. To see that I'm off camera, or on camera. So I will have to get up and check every once in a while. It looks like it's going to be one of those. Seems like the lighter. These are model air paints again, if you have not seen the previous videos. So usually take a couple coats when you brush paint them. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Let's can you see anything? Yeah. Turn it this way and we will get the little end of the handle here. That's usually wooden, right? On some of them. It's going to be on ours. Turn it this way and hopefully I can get the yeah, I think that'll be fine. Go like this to get the closer part. The nerve-wracking part of this is getting the... There we go. I don't know, it might be easier just to continue on the way I'm doing it. Nah, I'll turn it. We'll definitely need a couple coats, but we can go on and do other things while that first coat's drying. Wooden parts. So I will wipe this off here. Now what I wanted to do with this part here, I want to try to dry brush some black on there. to see what it looks like. And if it gives the effect I want, great. If not, I think we'll do some black panel line wash. Really, I'd kind of like to do the panel line wash over that, if that is successful. But we need to find what I did. Shouldn't be too hard to find here. Right here. Right directly in front of me. I'm going to try to dry brush and we'll just see what that looks like. We're going to experiment today. This is kind of this model in particular has been an experiment because I had never done sponge chipping that was even remotely as successful as this has been. And the streaking effect, I used oil paints. Did the oil paint streaking on it, and you can see it in different spots of the model if the light hits it just right. So the M3 Lee has kind of been now we'll try this and see what happens type of model. But it's looking kind of the way I imagined it, so I will not complain about that. Let's put the black up there. Put that off. It bugs me if I don't. And let's get what brush should we use here? This is my dry brushing brush. It's kind of, I don't want it to be that, you don't want it to be that wide though. This one might work. Get this back over here and let's just see what this looks like. Maybe I wiped it too much. It's kind of giving the same effect that a wash would do, I think. Just trying to take the shininess out of it. Well, you know, I don't really mind that so much. I could probably live with that. I might even try some yeah, that actually worked out way better than I thought it was gonna. Excellent. I wanted to keep that metally look, but I wanted to tone it down a bit because it was a little too shiny for the M3. Yeah, I really like that actually. It's gonna be tough to get this bar. Maybe not. Get the bar without. And after I get this one done, I'll bring it up to you so you can actually see something. Okay. Now we can tell it just kind of gives it a little bit of a little dirty look. Yeah, I think once it's dull coated, the whole model is dull coated. I think that's going to be just fine. We might put a wash on it too, just to say we did. Maybe I'll do the brown, maybe. Yeah. It's alright. Yeah, it leaves a little bit. I'll have to get more paint on there, but make sure we get the correct paint. I almost dumped some more wood color in. Turn you this way. Yeah, I really like that. Pretty much the same effect as the wash would have probably done. But sometimes with the wash, I lay it on a little too thick and then it gets all over everything. Oh, too much. There we go. I think that's going to work for that. Let's get that little, it's like the jack bar maybe. A little too much there. Blend it. Yeah. And I forgot about this one way in there, that bar. There's a lot more tools on this than I remember. There we go. Yeah, I like that. So I don't know. Good. I was afraid that might have hardened up. I'm going to clean this brush that we did the black dry brushing with. So I don't forget about it. And let's go ahead and let's give those handles a second coat here. Let's turn you around. Try not to touch everything that I just worked on. Trying to do the grain is going to be the hard part. Of this, I think. Of course, I kind of got a grainy effect going right now because it's not shaking bad. There we go. That's got a little grainy effect away because it's not quite a full blended coats of paint, or solid coat, I should say. Let's see, I did it this way last time, didn't I? Don't push the tank away as you're going. And I think I turned it this way. What I forgot to do, I forgot to get a piece of sponge. And this wood color seems to look really, really light when you first apply it, but I don't know if you noticed it really darkened up. As it dried, excuse me. My train of thought is just not good today. And we'll clean that brush up. So I'm probably going to leave it like that. I kind of want to... It's such a small... I want to try to do some kind of a wood grainy effect. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet for that small of a scale. That is that, as they say. Turn this way. And I will let that dry and see how that goes. I do believe I am going to give these a little bit of a wash as well to kind of dumb it down. Kind of dull it down even more. But I planned on giving the wood pieces a wash as well after I tried to do some kind of a grain to it. I'm going to go over here and grab a piece of that foam so we can If I can remember what I did with it. Oh, it's up here. I rearranged everything again because I made, like, this bench here is an L shape. It goes this way and then it goes 8 feet this way. I built an even bigger L shape over where I did my airbrushing and everything. Now I got a huge table. I got plenty of workspace now. I got a little piece of sponge here. We will start with our rust chipping. So I'm going to take the darkest rust color that I have. I actually ordered a chipping fluid set that you can use for either ground vehicles or aircraft. It's got the aluminum. It's an aluminum chipping, or it's actually got the rusty or primer or whatever chipping effect as well. We're going to try that on the Stuka, I believe. But I'll probably practice on something else with a piece of styrene just to get really good at it, because the Stuka's starting to look alright. I don't want to end up messing the paint job of that one up. But I kind of want to do the chipping, you know, where the pilots climb up on the wing, the leading edges of the surfaces, wings and tails and all that. And a little bit around the cockpit where they climb in. Because I've been doing the sponge chipping or just dotting with a brush, but I haven't done the actual chipping fluid yet, or the hairspray as they say you can also use. But I decided to go with the chipping fluid one because it came as a set, as I said, and I don't know how much hairspray cost. I don't use it, but I didn't know that if it would be that much of a price difference to go either one way or the other. So let's get our sponge here. I'm just kind of rambling on about stuff now. It's time to get to painting here. And I'm just going to basically, where I went over last time with the metal color, I'm just going to kind of go over it, and it's going on light as well. So it's kind of hard to see. The light's reflecting it. There we go. Kind of laid it on thick there, but again, like I said, this is kind of been my test bed for trying different techniques out. Ground vehicles you can kind of explain away, I think, a little bit better why it ended up the way it did. There we go. I love my light, but sometimes it shines so bright. Let's put that wood color over here so I don't mess it up. It's kind of hard to tell where I apply stuff sometimes. Pick up some of that off there. I want a different... Where should I go here? Should we go this way? Let's try this way. There we go. I don't mind a little bit of it. We're gonna, I don't know if you can see, oh boy, I put it right up in your face. And it goes on a lot lighter, but it's, the reason why I blotted it heavy there is because I had a lot of the metal exposed. I won't do it so much on the sides here. Gonna kind of give it a tap like that. There we go. It's one of those deals where you got to get used to doing it too. Kind of like with the gray, you can see I started here. That's why there was so much of the metal color, and right here. And then as I got more used to it, I got the better, smaller, realistic looking chips, I would call them. Like so. Now I gotta just be careful where I touch. We better only touch with the rollers now. In this particular model too, I ended up doing the some initial scratches and scrapes with a brush. Still want to see some of the metal through it, but don't want to be a huge deal. Almost rust right there. They were jumping on that side a lot, and then they decided, whoa, we better quit doing that. A little rest on the top of the... Oh, that was a happy accident there. Got a little bit around the door. That's some of my brushed on stuff too. I can't wait to dull coat this to see that how it all looks after that. that, I'm debating too whether I want to do like a fine airbrush mist of like to give it a dust effect, like way away from the tank, and just kind of spray it with a dust color, like my sand ivory or light. Probably sand ivory looks more like dust, just to give it that. Or if I should try to actually use something to create dust on it. Because I think it would be a neat effect to have that. Plus we're going to do like the, not heavy mudding, but like it had been through the mud, but it had been a while ago type. Just a little bit of mud in here and around the suspension pieces. And again, like I said, this one's, well, for one, it's a different color because this is all gloss coated here. It's giving it a different reflection than this. This is flat. It's the same color that I painted the tank, but I didn't do the pre-shading on it, so I wanted to be able to look at this down the road and remember that this was the one I 3D printed for it. But yeah, I'm probably gonna off camera do a little bit. We'll see how it dries, and like some of these areas I might hit again with the rust chipping and that, and then probably do a wash on these tools here. The wood for sure, because it looks too new. But that's a little more work on the M3 Lee. Then we're about to the time where we got to paint the actual oh, I forgot the shovel right there. I'll have to do that too off camera. I just realized that. Whoa, forgot to get right there. It's a process like anything else. Get it all dull coated and get the weather up our tracks a little bit. I did paint the tracks. They're the rubber band style. I did give them a airbrush of the black. Oh, it looks like I did it in the primer. I still need to do some work on these tracks. Yeah, because I don't want them glossy. That primer is a glossier color. So I'll have to work on them tracks as well. But we're getting closer to the end for the M3 Lee. Then after the M3 Lee, I plan on starting the 1/35 scale Stormgeschütz. But there we have it. I'll continue to do a little bit more on it. We'll call that a video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next time.